Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, my humble obeisances to you all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you all for joining His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj's daily class. Today we are continuing with Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 17th chapter, and today's verse is 33. And we are very happy to have Her Grace Radha Vinodini Mataji to give class for us. Hare Krishna Mataji, my humble obeisances to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Mataji, you can please take over. Thank you so much for your time and association.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to Guru Maharaj. May I take the screen sharing?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Okay, thank you. Not so many different things to share, but I have a few, and okay, I have it. This shows that I give very rarely classes lately because I forgot where the screen sharing button is. Okay, so let's start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sorry, I just. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are continuing with Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1, chapter 17, and verse number 33 is the next one. Navartitavyam tadadharma bandho dharmena satyena cha vartitavye brahma varte atraya janti yagyai yagyeshvaram yagyavitana vigya. Srila Prabhupada's translation. Therefore, O friend of irreligion, you do not deserve to remain in a place where experts perform sacrifices according to truth and religious principles for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada's purport. Yajneshvara, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the beneficiary of all kinds of sacrificial ceremonies. Such sacrificial ceremonies are prescribed differently in the scriptures for different ages. In other words, sacrifice means to accept the supremacy of the Lord and thereby perform acts by which the Lord may be satisfied in all respects. The atheists do not believe in the existence of God, and they do not perform any sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord. Any place or country where the supremacy of the Lord is accepted and thus sacrifice is performed is called Brahmavarta. There are different countries in different parts of the world, and each and every country may have different types of sacrifice to please the Supreme Lord, but the central point is pleasing Him. But the center point in pleasing Him is ascertained in the Bhagavatam, and it is truthfulness. The basic principle of religion is truthfulness, and the ultimate goal of all religions is to satisfy the Lord. In this age of Kali, the greatest common formula of sacrifice is the Sankirtan Yagya. That is the opinion of the experts who know how to propagate the process of Yagya. Lord Chaitanya preached this method of Yagya, and it is understood from this verse that the sacrificial method of Sankirtan Yagya may be performed anywhere and everywhere in order to drive away the personality of Kali and save human society from falling prey to the influence of the age. Om Gyanati Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Guravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Vishnu Pastaya Bhutale Srimate Candramauli Swami Niti Namine. So when I read this verse, I had this feeling that when I first read the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, at that time I really felt that this verse is about Kali. This is not about me or not about devotees, and in some sense it's true. But since then, while we are walking on the path of purification, we more and more realize the more and more subtle ways of how we do impious or sinful activities. Of course, if we follow the four regulative principles which Srila Prabhupada gave to us, then we are protected from the main ways of committing sinful activities. Still, there are so many subtle ways which even as devotees we do. So when I read this verse now, I had this feeling that, okay, this verse is about me. This is about Kali, but we are living in this age of Kali. And there are the places where Kali can reside, but we have to associate with some of these places, and mostly we avoid drinking and intoxicants and all the other stuff. But if not anything else, this gold and money, it's still something which we have to deal with. So we have to have some sort of association, and then we start to take the qualities in some way, and in the previous verses before this one, we could see the qualities of or not the qualities, the actions of Kali. And it stated that it was very aggressive with another living entity. It was very much beating, beating, kicking the cow, and also we could see that it was mentioned that Kali was wearing this dress of kings. So this is similar, like, the first one was about how many times we think that we are following ahimsa, but ahimsa also has more subtle ways. How many times we cause anxiety to other living beings, because that's what ahimsa means actually, to not commit anything which causes anxiety. This next one is that when someone, even though a Shudra, a lower class man, wears the dress, the outfit of a king, it's similar like when we want to look better than we actually are, so that we can get praise, we can get position, we can be famous, we can be proud of ourselves that, oh yeah, I am someone really, someone important, someone valuable. And also it was stated that when Kali realized that Parikshit Maharaj is stronger than him, then he immediately surrendered, which is good. But why did he do it? Out of fear, because because he had no other choice actually. The other choice was that he's going to be killed. And also this is true that many times we only surrender when there is no choice, not because we want to do what is right, what is the pious, what is the spiritual, but because we have no other choice. So in these senses, actually Kali represents us, because we follow partially at least his ways. Obviously, as devotees, we try to move more to the pious and even more to the spiritual path, and avoid these things. And to some extent, we are protected, but we have to be conscious about these things. And here, where it is so Parikshit Maharaj calls Kali Adharma Bandhu. This is Dharma means religiosity, and adharma means irreligious, so the opposite of it. And bandhu means that the friend of adharma. And in these verses, before and after, actually, Parikshit Maharaj calls Kali many times adharma bandhu, or friend, or friend of adharma, or even source of adharma. And I try to speak about this, what this means, that adharma bandhu, what it means that friend of adharma, friend of irreligious things. So dharma actually has multiple meanings, and it's difficult to translate it to English or to my native language, Hungarian. And in the preface of Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada wrote that this is something which is inseparable from a certain object or living entity or something. So this is like, the fire always burns, the sugar is always sweet. So whatever happens, sugar will always be sweet, fire will always burn. So it's just inseparable, these things. And from this, we can see from these examples that actually living entities also have dharma or something which is inseparable from them, but also objects, moving, non-living things also have dharma. So everything in this material world and also in the spiritual world have a certain nature, which is a certain role, actually. Certain role which they have to fulfill, which if they fulfill, then it will be, how to say, the whole system works. And another meaning is that Srila Prabhupada wrote in one of the purports of Srimad Bhagavatam that dharma is an occupation which will ensure the certain person's existence. So this is a bit connected to the previous one, and there is this other meaning that we can also translate dharma as religion, and this means that Sri Krishna gave us certain laws which we should follow. These are in the Vedas, and the Vedas laws are what religion is, because religion is to follow Krishna's instructions. And if we follow Krishna's instructions, if everyone would follow Krishna's instructions, then everyone could live in peace and harmony. This is what happens in the spiritual world, and even more happens there. But the problem is that many of us not follow or not follow properly. So this is what dharma means, and adharma is the opposite of it. So that's like irreligious things, which is according to someone's nature, which is opposite of some, not acting according to someone's nature. And if we speak about dharma, there are different kinds of dharma. One thing is which we already spoke about, that even non-living things have dharma, but obviously I will focus more on the dharma of the living entities. So one kind of dharma is varnashram dharma. And this is important to also to us in some sense, although we used to say that, and this is our main focus, that we are spirit souls. So primarily we have to act according to that. But we also have a material body, and also this body has some needs and some ways how it can function. And like different kinds of machines function differently, then similarly different kinds of living entities, and even different kinds of people function in a bit different way. So also very interesting in this regard that in the beginning, when Srila Prabhupada started to preach in the West, he said that it's not possible to establish Varnashram Dharma in this age or in the West. But when he left this world, immediately before that, he said that actually half of his work was undone, and that is that he didn't establish Varnashram Dharma. And it's very interesting. Why is it? Because there are so many things which are higher than Varnashram Dharma. But the problem is that if we don't function according to our nature, then we are not able to focus properly on our spiritual activities. We cannot do them in a peaceful mind, and something will always take some of our energy into another direction. So actually, Varnashram Dharma just means that we have to follow certain rules and regulations, and if we follow those, then we can live in a peaceful way. So we can properly focus on our spiritual activities, which are the main purpose of our life. And to some extent, this way we can be happy, but we have to be clear about it that material happiness is not really happiness. So lately I heard this nice example that I think everyone loves pizza. Pizza is just so amazing. So just imagine that you have the best possible pizza in front of you, which you can imagine. And you start to eating it, and you finish the pizza. You feel some satisfaction, you feel some happiness, and your stomach starts to get full, but oh, it would be so nice to eat another pizza because it was so tasty. And someone just brings another one, and you start to eat the second pizza. And still it gives some satisfaction, but a little bit less because you feel that your stomach really starts to be full. And then someone brings, after the second one, the third pizza. The same pizza, amazing smells, and really just imagine the cheese on top of it and everything, ahimsa cheese. And you feel that, oh, my stomach is so full. It really would be such a suffering to eat the same pizza. And this example shows that the source of joy, the source of happiness is not the pizza. The source of this so-called happiness is that you had some kind of suffering, either in your stomach and belly that you are hungry, or in your mind that your mind really desires the taste of the pizza. But when it's satisfied, then the same sense object doesn't give the enjoyment, the happiness. So actually, what it means, material happiness, is that, here is a line which is the zero, and you went below the zero, you are suffering, and when you get the pizza, you just go back to zero. And you will never be able to go to positive. So this is material happiness. So if we follow Krishna's laws in the material world, then we can get till zero. But real happiness is above zero, which is the spiritual happiness, which is unlimited. Here, our so-called happiness is limited because someone can eat one pizza, someone can eat two pizzas. There are maybe someone who can eat the third one, but at some point you cannot enjoy the happiness coming from the pizza. So it always goes till zero. So we can follow Krishna's laws, and then we can live peacefully, and we can live happily in a material sense. But the principles of this Varnashram system is that you always have to have to follow some duties. You have to accept some responsibilities, and you can have some kind of enjoyment which are in line with these other things. So in each and every varna, each and every ashram, there are also rules and there are also benefits. So, you know, the two sides of this duality. There are the difficulties and there are the benefits, and we have to accept both. We cannot do it that we just want we just want the benefit of different ashrams or different varnas. It's not possible. We always have to accept both sides of the coin. And just moving towards the spiritual aspect, because now we are still speaking about the material level. Obviously, Varnashram, for following Varnashram, one doesn't have to be a devotee. It's just following the laws, but maybe it's not for Krishna's pleasure. And Srila Prabhupada wrote in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 7, verse 15's purport that ordinary ritualistic activities constitute contaminated religion by which one benefits by developing material wealth and prosperity, but uncontaminated pure religion consists of understanding one's relationship with God and acting accordingly, thus fulfilling the highest mission of life and returning home back to Godhead. So this, I thought that I would quote this part of purport, because this is the connection between the material religion and the spiritual, the real religion, because this purport states that one is the contaminated religion and the other is the uncontaminated religion, pure religion. So till now, we spoke about contaminated religion. Why it's contaminated? Because it's contaminated by material desires for karma, artha, kama, moksha. So we want to get something material, something for us from it. But when we move towards the spiritual aspect, the uncontaminated pure religion, then we get to what is above Varnashram Dharma, and that is Sanatan Dharma or Bhagavata Dharma. And the two are actually the same, and even sometimes it's called Srimad Bhagavata Dharma, because the different names refer to the different aspects, different qualities of this kind of Dharma. Sanatana Dharma means that this is our eternal Dharma, because Varnashram Dharma, you know, in this life, maybe I'm a Kshatriya, then I have to act according to a Kshatriya. Next life, maybe I will be a Shudra. Then maybe I will be an animal. Then maybe it's a too big jump, but just anyway, then maybe I will be a Brahmana. And the duties, the Dharma will be different in each and every body, because according to the certain type of body, I will have different kinds of responsibilities and activities to follow. But Sanatan Dharma is eternal, because it's connected with our original being, our original identity, which is the soul. And this soul doesn't change. Even in this life, next life, and the life after that, we will be souls, spirit souls. So this is what this name refers to, Sanatan Dharma. And the other, Bhagavata Dharma or Srimad Bhagavata Dharma, it refers to that it follows the religious system of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the scripture which instructs us how to follow this Sanatan Dharma. What are the principles? What are the activities which we have to follow? And in one of his lectures, Srila Prabhupada said this, that Bhagavata Dharma means relationship with God and execution of our duties in that relationship. That is called Bhagavata Dharma. First of all, we must know what is God. then we must know what is our relationship with God. Then, as soon as relationship is known, then what is our duty? So it already refers to that, okay, I know that I am a spirit soul, but also what is the source of me? So then I understand that there is a God, and I am connected in some way. So I have to understand this connection. And if I understand what is this connection, what is this relationship, then I will be able to act according to that relationship. And that is what Bhagavata Dharma is. And yeah, I think this is what I wanted to speak about Dharma. So the different categories of Dharma. And understanding this, what Dharma is, let's speak a little bit about what this Adharma Bandhu means in this context. So there were two main meanings of Dharma. One is that religiosity, and the other is that, or irreligious things, the opposite. And the other is that following our true nature or not following our true nature. So I would like to speak about these two categories. And the first one will be this, this word is so difficult, irreligiosity. So it means that there are rules, regulations, principles which Krishna gave us to follow. But if we go out of our home and we don't have our altar with Krishna anymore, there are just the advertisement, the cars around us, so many materialist people. And so everything is full with this atheism, materialism, and these people just deny even the existence of God. And these laws, which the scriptures write about, are originally from God. But what happens if we deny the existence of God? Then why should we pay attention to those books, which I never, then I don't believe that they are from God. So yeah, these are some instructions from some people who wrote about these things in the past, but why should I follow these? Because it's just some not so modern thing, then I can come up with my own. So the problem is that if we don't believe in the existence of God, then we obviously won't follow his instructions because we are not motivated to follow his instructions. And lately, I read that part in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 12, when it's explained how the Vedas were given from one Muni to another, to disciples, and through the parampara. And I was really, really amazed and understood how much effort is there in it, that now I can read about these things. So many people, so many saints responsibly memorized, learned all these scriptures and gave to their successors, and so that the scriptures could get to us now. So that there is such great effort in it. And I really started to admire these people and even more value these scriptures. Even, we can read how the Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavatam was passed down in our parampara. So this is so amazing, and we really have to value it. And so the problem is that if someone just, so to say, throws out God, then obviously we throw out God's laws also. And the problem is that if I remember that there are the 18 main Puranas, and 6 of them in 6 groups, they are for different people. So 6 are for those who are in the mode of goodness. 6 are for those who are in the mode of passion. 6 are for those who are in the mode of ignorance. So even there are scriptures for those people who are in the mode of ignorance. But if someone doesn't accept anything of this, then how can he elevate develop from the mode of ignorance to higher stages? Because the role of these scriptures was to elevate people. But if we don't accept anything from these, then obviously those who are in the mode of ignorance and in the mode of passion will never go upwards, but just going down. So what is the hope in this age if we don't accept even these instructions, which are for even the lowest of people? And we have to understand that Krishna actually he doesn't need us to follow any rules, any regulations, any laws. It's not for him. It's for us, because we think that if I don't have to follow these rules, then I can do whatever I want, and then I can enjoy more. But just the opposite is true, that if we are not religious, if we don't follow these religious principles, then we will have to suffer. Actually, we will have to suffer even more than if when we follow these principles. So yeah, till now I mainly spoke about the Varnashram Dharma part. But let's speak about the Sanatan Dharma part, because that is what really elevates us. That is what really can take us out of this material world. Yeah, just one point back to this one is the actions of Kali, because in these verses we can see that Kali didn't even follow also the Varnashram Dharma, because he committed violence, and although he was a Shudra, it was mentioned, he dressed as a king, so he even transgressed the Varnashram Dharma. But okay, move forward. So Sanatan Dharma is something which is eternal. This is a spiritual process, and we have to follow these rules if we really want to elevate. Why don't we want to follow these things? That's an interesting question. One thing is that we want to enjoy, have this desire to enjoy, and we just reject all the efforts, all the sacrifices, all the duties, all the austerities, because we have this desire that, oh, I just want to enjoy without all these bad and uncomfortable things. And the other thing is that we don't want to accept that nothing is mine. We don't want to give to God what is originally his. There is this famous verse in Bhagavad Gita, this Bhaktaram Yagya Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Sukridam Sarva Bhutanam Gyatva Mam Shantim Richati. So this verse says that a person in full consciousness of me, Krishna speaking here, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. So there are very, very many interesting things actually in this verse. One is that he's the supreme lord of all planets, which means that everything in the material world is his. So nothing is ours. that's the sad truth, that everything belongs to the Lord. Also, it's said that he is the ultimate beneficiary of all the sacrifices. So whatever is sacrificed is the result, and everything, it's also Krishna's. So everything belongs to him. Okay, but maybe I will make some austerities and, some demigod will appear and I will get some benediction, so that will be mine. But it says that he's the ultimate beneficiary of all austerities too. Maybe not I can get some result on the short term, but ultimately he will be the beneficiary of that one too. And also he's the supreme lord of the demigods. So whatever happens in the material world is according to, maybe it seems that it's according to the demigod's will, but actually this is according to the supreme lord's will, Krishna's will. So everything belongs to him. Everything moves according to his will. So if we don't accept it and be a small rock in the machine, then we might suffer according to our own will, but we don't have to. Because if we understand all these things here, which were mentioned here, and also that he's the well-wisher, then we can attain peace and be free from the pangs of material miseries. So it might seem that if I don't accept these things, then I will be happy and it will be easier for me then. But in reality, if I accept all these things and act according to this understanding, then I will attain peace. And then I will be free from the material miseries. And just illustrating this verse, I've heard a very nice story that once Krishna visited one devotee. And when he arrived to the devotee, Krishna saw a balak cart. I hope I pronounced it properly. So there was a cart in the courtyard, and Krishna asked, who owns this balak cart? And the devotee said, "Oh, my dear Lord, this is yours." Then they went into the devotee's home, and Krishna asked, and whose home is this? The devotee said that, "Krishna, this is your home." And this went on, that Krishna asked about so many things, that who has this, who is the owner of this thing and that thing. And the devotee always answered that, "This is yours, Krishna, this is yours, Krishna, this is yours, my Lord." And in the end, Krishna asked that, "You said that here I am the owner of everything, that everything is mine here. But what is yours?" And the devotee said that, "My dear Lord, as I mentioned here, everything is yours, but you are mine." And this is very, very nicely exemplifies that if we give everything to the Lord, then we can have the heart of the Lord, and we won't suffer anything. That we don't have to be afraid that, oh, I gave my car to Krishna, then I how will I get to to my job? Or I gave this bread to Krishna, now what I will eat? So Krishna nicely takes care of everyone, because it's also stated in this verse that he's the well-wisher of all living entities. Because if Krishna is ours, then we will have a loving relationship, and that changes everything. So this was about the religiosity, irreligiosity aspect, and the other thing is that according to our nature, what it means that we act, or Kali acts according to the nature of the living entity. So lately I heard something very interesting. I started I'm also a participant of one online course, which this Karuna Care Institute has. It's about the the effect of grief on spiritual life. And there was one sentence which I really memorized. It said that if you want to be realized, then you have to be real. And it's very deep if you think about it, because many times we actually want to be realized, self-realized souls, but just honestly ask yourself that how many things we lie to ourselves about ourselves, that we like to pretend that we are a better devotee than we actually are. We like to pretend that we don't have such certain desires. We like to we lie to ourselves about what is painful to us, and push down and try to just close into a hidden part of our hearts so many things. This is still in the material aspect, so we just lie to ourselves about what our true nature, what our true desires are. And how can we be self-realized souls if we don't accept these things and start, because if we don't accept them, then how can we start to work with them? That's very important. And sometimes we try to lie about our varna or our ashram. It's so many times it's so difficult for devotees that, oh, should I remain a brahmachari? Should I be a grihastha? Or maybe I should do organizing services because I'm kshatriya nature, or should I do paintings because I'm artist, Shudra type of nature. So it's one thing which we like to lie to about to ourselves. And one thing we have to see that these are not so important questions in regards that the goal is to love Krishna. The goal is to serve Krishna. That's the goal. But if someone always takes our attention, then that's a problem. That's why we have to deal with these things. And that is our last verse quoted from Bhagavad Gita, which actually there are two verses in Bhagavad Gita when Krishna speaks about that we have to follow our own duties, not someone else's. But this says that it is far better to discharge one's prescribed duties, even though faultily, than another's duties perfectly. Distraction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than engaging in another's duties, for to follow another's path is dangerous. And there is one really important word in this bhayavaha. So in the translation, it is translated as dangerous. And even here, this bhayavaha is translated as dangerous. But in the word-to-word translation, we can see that this is actually made from two words, bhaya and avaha. And bhaya, it's like abhay charan, the fearless. Abhay means fearless, but bhaya means fear. So it means that actually if we don't follow our own nature, we are doing other kinds of activities than something which is according to our nature. We feel some kind of fear because we don't understand how this field works. What are the laws, the principles of this certain field? And this always will cause us anxiety. And this is why it's important. Urmila Mataji has this book, Career Dharma, about this thing. And she also has seminars about this. I've learned this part from her. So this is why it's very important that we have to take into account our material nature. Only, and I emphasize that this only is important because then we have more energy, more time, more capacity, more attention going towards our devotional service. So what it means to act according to our eternal nature, because we are spirit souls, and we have to understand that our soul also has needs. So maybe our soul doesn't need to eat or drink or sleep, but our soul also has needs, and this need is service. This need is the loving relationship with God. And if the soul if it's denied from the soul, then there is this very, very good expression in Ishopanishad about this, the killer of the soul. Because if we neglect all these needs, then actually we are the killers of our souls. So we have to follow this dharma, Sanatan Dharma. We have to act according to our eternal nature, because otherwise we are just killing our souls. And okay, I think I will skip a few things because it became a bit too much. But this, if we are going back to our first original verse. Here we could also hear about Sankirta Yagya, because this verse is about sacrifices, and in Vedic ages there were so many different types of sacrifices, but we know that for this age we got Sankirta Yagya. And in Vedic ages, for all these big ceremonies, there were so many important details about cleanliness, about the different offerings, about the certain type of personalities, properly trained brahmanas needed to be there. And obviously, Kali wasn't allowed near these things, because he would have contaminated everything there. But in this age, we got this yagya, which anybody can perform. There are no needs for proper timing, for a proper place. We don't have to have big offerings like different kinds of fruits and dairy products and gold and other jewelries, and donate to all the brahmanas present. We don't have to have properly trained brahmanas, but each and every one of us can, whenever we want to, we can sit down and chant the names of Krishna. And it's not like we cannot even go near the sacrifices, but we are encouraged to do so, to initiate, to start to do on our own these sacrifices. And we many times we don't even understand the value of it. When we just suffer to finish our daily rounds, and okay, 1 round, 2 round, okay, 14, 15, 16, oh my God, okay, I'm done, I can do all the other stuff which are important in my life. But this is such a great treasure, and now I'm teaching also to preaching to myself, that this is such a great treasure to us, that we got such a sacrifice which wasn't there anywhere in the previous ages. For example, these lower classes couldn't even attend to all these sacrifices, and we can be part of it. And Krishna, it's not like he would say that, okay, not everyone can participate in this yagya, but he even encourages, as Lord Chaitanya, the devotees, that just go out on the street and give this yagya to everyone. Everyone should be participating in this yagya. So it's such an exemplary, not exemplary, such a unique possibility to participate in this yagya, together or alone, whenever we are, wherever we are, whomever, we can do this together. Just do this yagya as much as possible, because it's not there for for all the ages. We are really, really lucky. And we are really, really lucky that we met devotees and got this yagya from them, this knowledge how to do this yagya. So we should try to really value this possibility. And in this regard, there is one still, even though in many senses we are similar, or so to say, a little bit like followers of Kali, but this is a big difference, that Kali is, here it says that the sacrificial method of Sankirtan Yagya may be performed anywhere and everywhere in order to drive away the personality of Kali. So Kali will be driven away by the Sankirtan Yagya. It's our own decision if we also decide on our own to be driven away, or we decide to embrace this method of Sankirtan Yagya and embrace the Lord, because he's present, he's there, he is the holy name. So, okay, it became a bit long, but I finished. So thank you very much for your patience. And please open up for questions, discussions. I'm really curious about your realizations. It's such a practical topic. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Lot of topics, aspects of this verse you covered, like Swadharma and Varnashrama and about Krishna. So a lot of many things. Thank you so much, Mataji. Dear devotees, if you have any questions or comments or realizations, you can please go ahead. So I really like the pizza example you gave, Mataji. That really connected. Yeah, but Mataji, when we want only Krishna, but the other things are also coming in our way. So how to be focused? Like we want only Krishna without anything else.
So as I understand that many of us have this struggle,
Yeah,
that
other things, yeah.
we have to associate with the material world also, and so many temptations come.
Yes, Mataji, yeah. As we move, even though we try to isolate, but we can't do it practically. So it's like always mixed desires, and so we want spiritual, we want material. All the time it's like that only. We are not coming out of it and not focusing much on this thing, spiritual aspect. So any tips, Mataji?
One thing which for me is very useful is that hearing always has such a great effect, because you sit down and start to read and hear something about Krishna, but when you close the book and just go and do your duties, sometimes it can come back to think about some certain parts which you read, especially if it's something which really catches your mind. That when we feel that something is really relevant for us in our lives, or something which is very attractive. So when for example, when we hear about the qualities of Krishna or the pastimes of Krishna, it's something which just grabs our mind, and it's really easy to remember even later on. So it's one thing that many times I experience on devotees, but also I speak about myself, that we have this tendency that we are not so serious about our hearing, because we have these vows to follow the 4 regulative principles and have this vow to chant at least 16 rounds a day. But sometimes it's added in the initiation, but not all the time, to also read about Krishna, read Srila Prabhupada's books. and many times this suffers. But for me, but I think this is a very unique thing, that for me at least also it helps that when I have to give classes, I'm always forced to even more meditate on some certain verses, and also forces me to live my life with a more open eyes on what I can use as metaphors in classes, because those are really something which we can really connect to many times. So it's easier to understand things through metaphors, and I just don't want to use always the same things over and over again throughout the years, because I also have a mind which is chanchala, and even if the devotees are merciful and forget my examples, at least I need some new ones, and I always have this feeling that it's also a service to the devotees to give newer examples. But for that, I really have to hunt down all these stories which happen to us, or whatever I see around myself. So that is also another thing. And the third thing which came into my mind is not some kind of activity, but I would say that some kind of mood, because I have this feeling that even we cannot be perfect from one day to another. I mean, it's possible. We read about it in Srimad Bhagavatam, that even within a moment we can surrender to Krishna. So it's there. It's possible, but most of us are not. At least I am not so surrendered. But we can get there gradually, and the important thing is that always there has to be something which where we make some effort, and whenever we have to do some effort, then we always have to be conscious about why I'm doing this effort, because if I'm not conscious about it, and there is no motivation, then I will just stop to do the effort. But if I have this consciousness, this motivation, this sankalpa, so to say, then it helps me remember, at least in those parts of my life when I have to do the effort, when I have to make some kind of austerity or something, and that helps to remember Krishna. So all those things where somehow we have some kind of feeling that helps, that if something inspires us, that helps remember Krishna. If something is difficult, that helps us to remember Krishna, because why I'm struggling with this, why I'm motivated to make my way through this difficulty. If we have a certain situation when we are suffering, then obviously actually that's the easiest for all of them, because that helps us to remember Krishna. But my point is that even apart from the suffering part, in our duties we can follow the possibility to remember Krishna, because if we don't do it out of I mean, as a ritual, okay, I did it yesterday, I do it today, and I will do it tomorrow. But why do I do it? And if it's difficult, how can I put something more into it? So when we have this effort, when we have this some kind of austerity, then this desire, or sometimes when I cannot do something properly, this regret, these things can help us to remember Krishna. And actually, if you think about it, this is how also the mind can be our friend, even when it's not the friend, but the mind is where our feelings reside. And we can use these feelings like, oh, it's so difficult to get up early in the morning, but I will do it because of Krishna. Or Oh, it's when something is so tasty, then oh, it's so nice. Krishna, sometimes, you know, I used to cook something for my gornitai, and after they eat it, and I start to eat, and oh wow, it turned out so nicely. Krishna, thank you for giving giving this to me, because I don't know how to cook. So if it turned out nicely, it's done. So we can use these feelings, and if we remember that whenever we feel something, that somehow to connect this Krishna with Krishna, I think that's a possibility. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. So many points. Yeah. Yeah, in all aspects of our life, how we can remember Krishna. Thank you so much. You gave such nice tips. Dear devotees, any questions or comments? Yes, Rishabh Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, dear
Hare
Vaishnavas,
Krishna.
please, do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
So, please, you are one of my favorite devotees, because if you were a male, I would probably take shiksha from you. So, please, I need a tattva. I need a tattva from you, because speaking like from all the talks, all of the points you're sharing, I have one doubt in my mind. We are trying to put the instructions of a spiritual master in our hearts. But in the other sense, we should not think that we are the doers. So that confuses me, because, you know, I want to, you know, Maharaj wants us to preach. So, but I shouldn't think that I'm a preacher. I shouldn't desire to be a preacher, but Maharaj's desire is to preach. So how do I do this?
I'm not sure if I 100% understood the question, but how should we understand that we are not the doers, but we are, how to say, carrying out the desire of our Guru Maharaj?
Yes. So because, you know, Maharaj wants us to preach, but if we think that we are the preachers, if we think we are preaching now, we are in big trouble.
Oh, let me share one story which happened to me. It was a few years ago when Guru Maharaj attended to one, I think it was an ISKCON European leadership meeting or something like that. And this meeting was about Kirtan. The main topic was Kirtan. And he had to make a presentation. But he didn't have time to prepare for that, and asked the devotees, and it was even on the conference, he asked if someone can collect some material about the history of Kirtan in ISKCON times. I mean, not the Vedic times or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's times, but within ISKCON. And, you know, I saw the word Kirtan and research, get some information, and I was like, oh, okay, I will do it, because in Hungary, in Budapest, we have a Bhaktivedanta University. There are so many, you know, scholars there, and they will be able to help me, surely. And there are, you know, so many people wrote diplomas. Surely there will be something about Kirtan history. And so I volunteered to do that. And there were 3 weeks, I think, around 3 weeks of time for that. So not so much. And then I started to inquire here from the devotees about if some material are available. And then I realized that there is nothing actually. No diplomas, no researches or anything. And then I was left on my own that, oh my God, I volunteered for this, and oh, Guru Maharaj, how he would do his service properly, because he expects me to do this, and I just don't know what to do. And I asked devotees what they think I should do, but I didn't really get any usable advice. And for just days I sat down here at home in front of my deities and asked them, prayed for them. Really, there were not so many times in my life when I was really begging Krishna to have something, but this was, I think it was the topmost. And I really felt that because of my promise, my spiritual master won't be able to do properly his service. And after some time, I just had this small idea that there is an ISKCON, I don't know, PDF file about it's about kirtan. There are many questions answered from scriptures or from letters or morning talks or something from Srila Prabhupada and other ISKCON gurus. So at first I thought that it's so nice to start always with the principles. And I started from there. And while I was doing, some newer and newer ideas came, like one brought the other. And in the end, sorry for taking it so long, but anyway, in the end, it was around 100 pages of document categorized in so many different chapters, different categories. And I sent it to Guru Maharaj, and I remember that he was really pleased, and many times praised to different devotees. Even some Hungarian devotees came to me. I didn't even know how they got it. And this is just the first part, but 1 or 2 years passed. And I remember that somewhere on internet, I found this whole document, and in the beginning, below the chapter title, there was that the author is His Holiness Candramauli Swami. And you know, for 2 seconds, I felt that, oh no, but I did it, actually. After 2 seconds, I realized, I remember this whole process, that I wasn't the one who did it, because I remember that on my own, I was the one who was totally in panic. That was my action and my doing and my capability in this whole situation. And I have full faith in it, that this whole document came out of the thing that I just wanted to be a tool for Guru Maharaj, that he has to do his service properly. And I'm 100% sure that Krishna, Gornitai gave their blessings only because it was for him. Because on my own, I wouldn't have been able to do it. And yeah, this situation when I found this document, and I still remember it, as you can see, that oh, what a fool I am for even 1 second or 2 seconds thinking that I did something valuable. So yeah, this is one thing. I also remember one occasion that when Guru Maharaj was here in Hungary, New Rajadam, and on one occasion I was going to get his clothes for washing, and somehow I met him, and he asked if I can. Oh, he had I think a sweater and some I should have repaired it in some way, sewing it, and he asked me if I can do it. I was there with one of my friends, and I told Guru Maharaj that, oh, I'm so sorry, but I don't know how to sew, and it really will be bad. And then we came. He didn't force it, so I just didn't take it, and went with the clothes. And then while we were going from there with my friend, she just very kindly told me that I heard that when the Guru requests something, he always gives the empowerment. And at that time, I really understood that, oh, yeah. So it's one thing that maybe I'm not able to do it in a material sense. I don't have the skills. but then I can look for someone who can do it, or whatever way. But if the instruction came, the request came, then there is some way to do it. Obviously, I think you have much more experience about this. While serving the Guru, I have very limited possibilities for this. But at least this situation always reminds me that when he requests something, there is a chance to fulfill it. And this other first story, which I said, that even when I don't think, even when I'm 100% convinced that I'm too little for that, I'm not scared, but that there is a reason to get something from it. Although sometimes it might be, I don't know, I don't have so much experience about it, that maybe the purpose is that we should face our limitations. I don't know, but for me, this story was which always reminds me that I'm just like a hand to the body. But yeah, sometimes my mind and ego also tricks me. I won't say it doesn't, but there are reminders.
Can I summarize? So can I summarize what you said?
Mm-hmm.
If I understood correctly. So, like Srila Prabhupada, he went to the West because
Mm-hmm.
of the instruction of his spiritual master, and he did it as an obligation to him. So, if Maharaj says, do Sankirtan, do preaching, you don't feel actually qualified to do this, nor you feel actually a desire, like, I want to be a preacher, or I want to be a Sankirtan. I mean, okay, it depends, like, what does it mean to be a Sankirtan, Does it mean to be a glorious, personality everybody worships, or a preacher? Doesn't mean that if I ask myself what a preacher means, that means person who is influencing others, who is, making others, follow what you are telling them. So I was like, okay, that is a red sign, the red alert, because you are trying to be Ishvara. You're trying to be the one who is influencing things. So if I understand correctly, when we get, so whatever instruction we get, we just say, okay, I am not qualified to do that. But Maharaj said to do it, and my duty is to do it with confidence that Krishna will give me intelligence, with determination, with patience, and with enthusiasm. Doesn't not be attached to results. And just doing it for the sake of purification, and for the sake of developing a small amount of love for Krishna and Guru Maharaj. Did I understand it correctly?
Yeah, I think so. Actually, I realized that probably I wasn't even totally answering your questions, because whenever we do something for following the instructions of the Guru, I spoke about when we don't feel qualified, and as I understand, your question was for just the other way around, when we managed to do it nicely, and how to understand that this was actually the empowerment of the Guru, and we are the how to say, we just facilitate his desires. So I think your summarization was better explaining the answer for your questions than whatever I said. But
No, but
yeah.
you said it really interestingly, because this is where I feel trapped now. Look, I'm meeting with people. Look, I'm preaching to them. It's like, I'm not doing anything. What the hell are you thinking? What do you think you're doing? You're doing literally nothing. Do you think that they are actually having more faith in the Krishna consciousness, or they just like your jokes? It's like, come on. It's like, be productive. Maharaj will ask you, like, okay, how much rounds do they chant? Maharaj, they're still coming to it. Oh, you're useless. It's like, it's just like it's just like, how to, we are trying to act in a spiritual way, which is totally different than any material activity we did until now. And trying to, materially act on spiritual instructions, it's just Krishna telling you you're doing it wrong. And I can sometimes maybe even feel not motivated. Oh, look, I'm trying to preach, but Krishna is putting all these obstacles. People are not, not listening to me, or I feel like the most dumbest person in the temple. So why should I preach? So anyway, it really helped me to this way. I asked because I wanted to clarify to myself how to have this right approach in approaching spiritual master's desire, but not being self-pity and not be self-proud.
Yeah,
Thank you.
actually, both can be difficulties. Yeah, it's you nicely said it, that one is the mode of passion, one is the mode of ignorance, and we like to go one way or the other. But in the middle, when we understand our position, that's nice, and we have to endeavor for that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your question. It was really, really interesting. Worth thinking some more about it.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, even I face that type of difficulty where what Rishabh Prabhu was saying. Like when you have Guru Maharaj's instruction, and sometimes it's getting difficult to follow that strictly. So at that time, yeah, it's like what to do, what not to do, like that. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mataji, for both of you. Nice discussion. Thank you so much.
We should discuss more how to follow Guru Maharaj's instruction in a proper way. I think this is really useful.
Yeah, and that too, not in like as Mataji was saying, like sometimes mode of passion, mode of ignorance. At least come to the level of mode of goodness to follow that instruction nicely. But Krishna is testing. Krishna will test definitely our sincerity and whether we are able to follow that instruction or not. But yeah, we have to pray to Krishna, I guess, to help us come out of this modes and be situated on the mode of goodness always.
Yeah, for me, actually, the most important guideline regarding following instructions were that sometimes, as you mentioned, sometimes it's so difficult to follow instructions, and it might happen that we are not even able to do it. But what happens when we are not able to do it? We can still do so many things. For me, the principle was always that to start thinking, meditating on it, how it's possible. So somehow I can never get it out of my mind. And maybe I'm not able to follow it now, but maybe I will be able to do it later. So I just try to get used to the instruction first, and it's still better than if we just think that, oh, it's not so important. Oh, Guru Maharaj doesn't really understand my situation. Oh, I don't have this such and such skills, so I'm not able to do it. Or another possibility is for communicating with him and just try to adjust the instruction, but these two, asking for adjustment or meditating how I can fulfill it in the future. Because Srila Prabhupada also did it, that for some years he was meditating on it and lived his grihastha life and didn't go to the West and and things like that. So sometimes the instruction is for the present, but we might be able to fulfill it in the future. So that's another possibility. And I also experienced how much he can give empowerment. For me, one of the most difficult instructions was that my dad is not an atheist, but a really, really, really strict Christian person. So I was 100% convinced that I cannot tell him that I'm devotee because I don't know what will happen. Armageddon will come or something. And at some point, Guru Maharaj told me to tell my dad. And I was like, ice bucket challenge is nothing compared to this. So I was sitting there and, oh my God, what should I do? And I think Guru Maharaj saw that I'm totally out of my body experience. And he told me that it wasn't an instruction, it's just some suggestion. That he said that, oh, if I were you, maybe I would write a letter to him. And for me, it took more than a month to even start to write that letter. Because even when I thought that, what can I write, my mind just went blank, totally blank. And I remember that one evening I was just sitting, chanting my rounds, and just one sentence came out of my mind, which I wasn't even the beginning or something, but I thought, oh, it's such a good thing. I should write it down, because at least I will have one sentence from that letter, which I'm not even be able to think about it. And somehow when I finished my round, wrote down the sentence, and like a beach, something beach mantra or something like that, somehow the whole letter just came out of this one sentence. And in the end, I left that letter at home once when I visited, and just came back to my home in Budapest. And I didn't get any reaction. So I wasn't even sure if my dad got it or not. And 1.5 years passed when our family was just sitting outside of the house, and we were watching how it rains. The nature is so nice, and my dad just spoke out, and it's such a shame that you have to communicate in letters with your father. So that's how I got to know that he read it, but I couldn't even imagine that he reads such a letter and don't even react anything. So that was such a result, which was much beyond all my best predictions. So actually, the main point here is that Guru Maharaj gave me such an instruction, which was really difficult for me, but also he gave advice how it was possible to fulfill. Not immediately. I had to adjust to it. I mean, get used to the thought, but somehow it really turned out good, and I could really understand how it was from his mercy, from his instructions, from also from the desire to follow his instructions. So the main point is that whenever we get one instruction, even if it's difficult, at least put it in our heart that it's important, and now or later, but it has to be fulfilled sometime. And I have to have endeavor for it. There are some instructions which are not this personal instruction, but it's also his instruction to chant nicely, pay attention to the holy name, to get up early. Some of them I try to follow some ways, but I still have some difficulties with my lifestyle. But I always try to do some efforts, and that's also a connection with Guru Maharaj. That's I cannot do these things properly, but I always try my best, and because the meditation is there, that I want to follow his instruction, and how can I gradually get to the point when I really can follow the instruction.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Yeah. Mataji, you were mentioning about the document, right? Previously, can you share the document again? I think previously at that time you shared, but I want to see that again. Can you share it?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think slowly everyone is leaving, Mataji. It's already 1.5 hour time. Thank you so
sorry.
much.
Even the presentation was 1 hour, so sorry.
Yeah. Even I have to rush, Mataji, little bit work is there.
Sorry
thank you
for
so much, everyone. We'll catch hold of Radha Vinodini Mataji one more time soon, and we'll have nice discussion again.
Thank you very much for today's class.
Thank you, Mataji, for your time and
Thank you.
association. We'll end the call here. Panchakalpatarupyascha Kripasindhubhyo Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.